I remember the blade slicing across my throat like it was yesterday, the cold steel kiss from my own mother's hand. Her whisper hot against my ear, "College would have ruined you anyway."
June.
Girls like us stay home. Blood bubbled up, warm and metallic, choking my screams as the world tilted into black. Betrayed by the woman who birthed me, all because I dared dream of escaping her cage. But death isn't the end, it's a reset button smeared in regret. And now, here I am, 18 again, fingers trembling over the same laptop keys in our cramped Seattle kitchen. The essay glowing untouched on the screen, the one she'll try to delete in 3 days. This time, I won't bleed out on the linoleum. This time, I'll make her pay. The rain hammered the roof like it was trying to drown out my pounding heart. It was a Thursday in late September, the kind of Pacific Northwest gray that seeps into your bones. I'd just hit submit on my final draft for the Evergreen Scholarship, full ride to UW. My ticket out of this suffocating split-level house on the edge of Capitol Hill. Mom Linda. Though after that night, she'd never feel like mom again, had been hovering all week, her eyes darting to my screen like a hawk spotting a mouse. She was a relic of the 80s. All big hair and bigger resentments. Working double shifts at the diner to keep us afloat after Dad vanished 10 years ago. Vanished. That's what the cops called it. I knew better now. In my first life, or death, whatever you call it, I'd confronted her about the essay 2 days from now. She'd smashed a bottle of Merlot over my head, called me an ungrateful slut for wanting to throw away family for some liberal indoctrination. Then the knife from the block. The one with the cherry handle she'd bought on our girls' trip to Pike Place. She'd staged it as a break-in, even left the back door ajar. The neighbors bought it. Who suspects the grieving widow? But I'd seen the truth in her eyes as the light faded. Not madness, but calculation. She'd killed Dad too. Buried him under the backyard rosebushes to hide her affair with his boss. The sleazy realtor who'd promised her the world and delivered squat. All those overtime nights. The scholarship? It would have meant audits. Questions. Me digging too deep into our finances for my college apps. Loose ends scare her. I slammed the laptop shut, the snap echoing like a gunshot. Footsteps creaked from the hallway, her padding in her worn UGGs, reeking of fryer grease and cheap vanilla body spray. Junebug, you still up? School tomorrow. Yeah.
Ma.
Just finishing homework. My voice cracked. Too high. Too much like the old me. God. It was weird hearing it again, soft. Hopeful. Unbroken. I forced a yawn, rubbing my eyes. Backup plan number 1, play dumb. Let her think she had the upper hand. She leaned in the doorway, arms crossed over her faded Seahawks hoodie, that fake concerned smile plastered on. You know I worry. That computer's gonna rot your brain. Remember Aunt Rita? Went off to college. Came back a stranger. Divorced. No kids. Chasing some dream job that left her broke. Aunt Rita was a myth. A ghost story she trotted out whenever I mentioned future tenses. In reality, Rita had died in a car wreck at 22. Pre-Dad's disappearance. But lies were Mom's love language. I know.
Ma.
I'm not like that. I stood, hugging her stiffly, felt the wiry tension in her shoulders, like a coiled snake. She smelled the same, cigarettes and regret. As I pulled away, my eyes flicked to the knife block on the counter. 6 blades, all accounted for.
For now.
Sleep didn't come easy that night. I lay in my twin bed, Posters of Frida Kahlo and Billie Eilish staring down like judgmental saints. The glow-in-the-dark stars from childhood peeling off the ceiling. My room hadn't changed. Thrift store desk piled with AP-lit notes. A dog-eared copy of the bell jar dog-eared on the nightstand. But I had. Death strips you bare. Leaves you with X-ray vision for bullshit. Every creak of the house whispered secrets I'd ignored before. The loose floorboard under the hall rug where she'd stashed Dad's old Rolex. Pawned for bail money after her DUI last year. The faint chemical tang in the garden shed. Bleach over buried bone. By morning, the fog had lifted, leaving Seattle slick and shimmering. I wolfed down frosted flakes at the Formica table, backpack slung over one shoulder, while Mom scrolled her Facebook on her cracked iPhone. "Big day," she asked, not looking up. Likes on her post about single mom wins, a selfie from the diner. Filters heavy. Calc quiz. Essay due for English.
Lie.
The essay was done, backed up to a thumb drive hidden in my sock drawer. I'd emailed a copy to my guidance counselor last night, time-stamped. Digital breadcrumbs. She nodded, sipping her Maxwell House. "Proud of you,
Kiddo.
Just don't let 'em fill your head with nonsense. World out there's full of wolves. Wolves. Like the one who'd knocked her up at 17. Skipped town. Left her with me and a lifetime of what-ifs."
Or so she said.
In my dying haze, she'd confessed it all. Dad found out about the realtor. Threatened divorce. She'd bashed his skull with a tire iron during an argument, dragged him out back in the rain. The roses bloomed redder that summer. School was a blur of fluorescent halls and whispered gossip. Evergreen High, class of 2026 me, valedictorian track if I didn't flame out. My best friend, Tyler, caught me at my locker, his beanie askew, skateboard tucked under his arm. "Dude, you look like you saw a ghost." Bad trip on that energy drink. Tyler. The one constant. In my first go-round, he'd been my rock after the murder, showed up at the fake funeral with a bouquet of daisies and a promise to avenge me. Cops ruled it unsolved, Mom's tears too convincing. He dropped out, spiraled into opioids. OD'd 6 months later. No loose ends for her. I punched his arm lightly.
Nah.
Just family stuff.
Hey.
Cover for me after school? Need to hit the library. He grinned, braces flashing. On it. But you owe me a slice at Angelo's. The library was my war room. Downtown Seattle Public. 3rd floor. Overlooking the ferry terminal. I claimed a corral by the window, plugged in my drive, and started digging not for classes, but for her. Mom's digital footprint was a minefield. Old MySpace pages under Lindabella87, flirty comments to Real King Ari, the realtor, Rick Harlan. Court records from the DUI, falsified alibis. A witness recanting. And Dad, missing persons file. Yellowed PDFs from 2015. No body. No closure. But I remembered the weight of the dirt, her grunting as she shoveled. Hours bled into dusk. I cross-referenced property deeds, our house. Bought cash post-disappearance. Rick's firm handled it. Affair confirmed. By 7. My notebook was crammed. Timelines. License plates. A burner phone number from her texts I'd screenshot in my mind. Hunger gnawed. But so did resolve. Backup plan 2. Allies. I texted Tyler a vague meet at the pier and fired off an anonymous tip to the cold case unit. Nothing concrete. Just check the backyard roses. 4721, 18th Avenue East. Home was quiet when I slipped in. Mom at her shift till 10. I raided the fridge, leftover meatloaf. Cold and congealing, then headed to the basement. Her office, a card table with bills. A lockbox under loose floorboards. Heart slamming. I jimmied it with a paperclip, childhood skill from helping her hide report cards. Inside, Dad's wedding ring. A stack of Polaroids, her and Rick. Motel sheets tangled. And a yellowed envelope. For June, when you're ready. His handwriting. Tears stung as I tore it open. A letter. Dated the week he vanished. My girl. If you're reading this, things went south. Your mom.
She's not well.
The fights. The lies. I've got proof of her dipping into the business account. Rick's in on it. I'm leaving for a bit. To protect you. Scholarship money's in a trust. Under your name. Don't let her touch it. Love.
Dad.
He hadn't vanished. He'd planned to run. Expose them. She'd beaten him to it. The trust, 20 grand for college. Untouched because she'd convinced me it was gone in debts. Rage boiled. Hot and clarifying. I pocketed the letter. Resealed the box. Upstairs. The clock ticked 9:45. Her shift ending. I waited in the kitchen. Essay open on the laptop like bait. Headlights swept the drive at 10:03.
Door creaked.
Her keys jangling. June, you awake? In here.
Ma.
Voice steady.
Showtime.
She shuffled in. Apron still tied. Eyes lighting on the screen. What's this? That college thing again. I leaned back. Casual.
Yeah.
Almost done. Wanna read? Her face tightened, that micro-twitch I'd missed before. The predator scenting blood. She stepped closer. Hand brushing the mouse. Let me see. Baby. Mama knows best. As her finger hovered over delete, I hit enter. Not on the essay, on a hidden script I'd coded in 10 minutes flat, courtesy of AP Comp Sci. It emailed the full file to the scholarship board, CCing my counselor, Tyler, and that cold case tip line. Timestamped. Ironclad. Her eyes widened. What the? Gotcha. I stood, slow, the letter crinkling in my pocket. Dad's alive in here.
Ma.
And so am I. She lunged, but I was ready, dodged. Grabbed the rolling pin from the counter. Not to swing. Not yet.
Just to hold the line.
We need to talk. About the roses. The air crackled. Electric with the storm we'd both seen coming. Her mask cracked. Just a hair, fear. Not fury. Good. Fear meant she knew I knew. Word count, 1023. MOM deleted my scholarship essay saying college ruins girls. She didn't expect my backup plan, part 2. She froze. Rolling pin or no. Her breath hitching like a stuck engine. Rain pattered the window. A mocking applause.
What?
What roses? June, you're talking crazy. Put that down before you hurt yourself. Hurt myself. Classic deflection. Straight from her abuser bingo card. In my first death. She'd used it right before the knife, baby. You're hysterical. Let mama help. I tightened my grip. The wood smooth under my palms. A relic from Grandma's baking days. The ones you planted over Dad. 10th anniversary gift. Right? Red hybrid teas.
Deep roots.
Bleach in the soil to kill the smell. Her laugh was a bark, forced through gritted teeth. Jesus.
Kid.
Too many true crime pods. Your father's gone. We mourned him. You were 8. Remember the balloon release at Green Lake? She edged closer, hands out like I was a spooked deer. But her eyes flicked to the knife block. 2 feet away. Backup plan 3. De-escalate. But document. I'd propped my phone against the toaster earlier. Voice recorder app running. Every word. Crystal. I remember.
Ma.
And I remember you cashing his life insurance 2 months later. $50K. Deposited the day after the search ended. Rick co-signed the house flip right after.
Rick.
Naming him was a gut punch. I saw it land, her pupils dilating. You don't know what you're.
Ido.
I pulled the letter from my pocket, unfolded it slow, like drawing a gun. Held it up to the light, his scrawl illuminated.
He wrote this.
Knew about the affair, the embezzling. Was gonna take me, start over in Portland. But you couldn't let him go. Tire iron from the garage, blunt force, then panic. Buried him deep, but not deep enough. Soil pH changes.
Ma.
Roses hate alkaline. I tested it last summer for bio class. Off the charts. She staggered back, bumping the fridge, magnets clattered. A faded, world's best mom mug tumbling to the tile. Shards everywhere. Symbolic as hell.
Lies.
All lies. He was a drunk, beating us. Dad didn't drink. My voice rose, cracking the facade. God. It hurt. Peeling back the varnish she'd slathered over a decade. You did. And he covered for you. Every PTA meeting. Every sick day. Until Rick. Sleazy mustache. Camaro in the drive while I was at school. Polaroids in your lockbox. Timestamped 2014. I saw them tonight. Her face drained, ghost white under the kitchen fluorescence. For a split second, pity flickered for the girl she'd been. 17 and scared. Saddled with a baby and a boyfriend who bolted. But pity dies fast when you remember the blood. You snooped? In my house? Ungrateful little. Backup plan. Ma. I cut her off, stepping over the mug shards. Phone still whirring. I emailed everything. The letter. The deeds. Even a soil sample kit order from last week, anonymous. Of course. Cops get it at dawn if you twitch wrong. She deflated, sliding down the fridge door.
Knees to chest.
Sobs racked her. Mascara rivers on cheeks.
June.
Baby. It was an accident. He came at me, screaming about the money. I swung wild. Then. I couldn't undo it. Rick helped. Said it'd be our secret. We were gonna run.
You and me.
After the insurance cleared.
But you.
You kept asking questions. That scholarship app. Digging into accounts. I couldn't lose you too. Lies wrapped in half-truths. Her specialty. In my deathbed delirium. She'd spun the same yarn. It was for us.
June.
To keep you safe. But safety was her chain. Forged in control. No college. No independence. Stay the pretty bird in her gilded cage. Oblivious to the rot beneath. You killed Tyler too. Didn't you? Indirectly. After me. He pushed the cops. You planted those pills in his locker. Whispered to his dealer it was payback. He OD'd thinking it was fentanyl-laced. Her head snapped up, eyes wild.
No.
That was. He was trouble. Hanging around. Filling your head with escape fantasies. I just warned him off. Warned. I snorted.
Bitter.
The rain picked up. Thunder rumbling distant over the sound. Like you warned Dad. Or me. I lowered the rolling pin. Not for mercy, but strategy. Let her talk. Confess. The recorder ate it up. She crawled forward, clutching my jeans. Please.
June.
Family sticks. Blood's thicker. Delete it all. We'll burn the letter. Dig up the yard tonight, say it was a raccoon nest or something. I'll quit the diner.
Get therapy.
Be better. For you. The old me would have cracked, hugged her. Promised forever. But death rewires you. I knelt. Eye level. Her breath sour with fear. Family? You murdered mine. And for what? A dead-end affair and a house you can't afford? Dad left the trust for me. 20 grand. Safe from you. I'm cashing it tomorrow. Heading to UW early admission if the scholarship hits. You're done. Her nails dug in. Feral. You think you can just leave? After everything? I'll tell them you did it, framed me. Crazy daughter with daddy issues. Who's gonna believe a kid over a grieving mom? Twist of the knife. Hers this time. She wasn't wrong. Juries love sob stories. Backup plan 4. Leverage. Then I'll go public. Post the Polaroids on Nextdoor. Tag Rick's Realty page. Local mom and broker dig up husband's grave, literally. Viral in hours. And Tyler's mom? She's got his journals. Suspecting you. One call for me. She released. Slumping.
Defeat.
I stood. Legs jelly. Adrenaline crashing. Go to bed.
Ma.
We wait for the cops. Or you turn yourself in. Clean slate. Maybe manslaughter. With the accident angle. 5 years. Out on good behavior. I visit Sundays. She nodded. Broken doll. Shuffling upstairs. I locked the door. Sank to the floor amid the shards. Glass bit my palms. But I didn't care. Dawn crept in. Gray light filtering through blinds. My phone buzzed. Scholarship confirmation. Full ride awarded. Welcome. June Harper. Tears came then. Hot and cleansing. Not for her. But for the girl I'd been blind. Begging for scraps of love. Tyler texted. Pierre? Brought pizza. I replied. Change of plans. Meet at the station.
Storytime.
The cops arrived at 8:17 a.m. 2 detectives in rumpled suits. Raincoats dripping. Mom was in the kitchen. Brewing coffee like it was bridge club day. Officers? Something wrong. I handed over the phone. Letter.
Drive.
Check the yard. And her browser history. How to stage a home invasion searches. Dated last Tuesday. They did. Shovels in the mud. Roses uprooted. Bones by noon. Dental records matching Dad. Rick rolled up in his Camaro. Sweating. Spilling it all in cuffs. The cover-up. The checks. Mom? Silent tears in interrogation. Then the plea. Accident. Panic. No intent. Manslaughter stuck. 20 years. Minimum. Trial was a circus. Seattle Times front page. Mother's deadly secret unearthed in backyard. Protesters outside the courthouse. Justice for fathers versus moms under siege. I testified. Voice steady. The courtroom AC humming like Judgment Day. Tyler sat front row, hand in mine under the pew. You did it, he whispered. Avenged them all. Not quite. The real twist hit post-verdict. Dad's trust? It wasn't $20K. 35. Plus interest. And a safe deposit box, deeds to a cabin in the Cascades. His rainy day nest egg. He'd planned for us. Always. Mom's appeals failed. She wrote from Purdy, begging forgiveness. I burned the letters. Summer blurred into freshman orientation. UW campus buzzed, quads alive with frisbees. Coffee carts steaming. I roomed with a poli-sci major from Spokane, all tattoos and theories. Tyler visited weekends. His board swapped for a beat-up Vespa. We hiked the Olympics, chased sunsets over the Sound. No ghosts, just us. But revenge lingers. A shadow itch. One night, dorm quiet. I Googled her, Linda Harper. Inmate 47,892. Good behavior credits piling. Out in 12. Maybe. Would she come for round 2? Backup plan 5. The anonymous fund. Seeded with trust scraps. For victims' kids. Scholarships to escape their own cages. Harper legacy. And signed. I aced midterms. Joined a true crime pod, ironic. Hosting episodes on cold cases solved. Listeners ate it up. The Rosebush Killer. Tyler laughed. Calling me June the Avenger.
Fitting.
Yet doubt crept in. Late night what-ifs. Was it justice? Or just my blade in her throat? Her last words at sentencing. I did it for love.
June.
Twisted, but true.
Love.
The ultimate controversial call. Does it excuse the blood? I pushed it down. Focused on the horizon. Seattle sprawled below my dorm window. Lights winking like promises. Second chances aren't clean. They're jagged. Full of if-onlys.
But mine?
I'd sharpened it into something fierce. Mom deleted one future. I built 5. Fall quarter hit like a freight train, syllabi thicker than my old high school planner. Profs droning cant in halls that smelled of stale espresso and ambition. UW's liberal arts building was a maze of exposed brick and echoey stairwells. My poli-sci 101 lecture packed with kids nursing iced lattes from the Huskies cart. I sat front row. Notebook flying. But my mind wandered to the empty chair at home. Mom's arrest had gutted the house. Social services taped it off. My aunt from Tacoma swooping in to pack boxes. Poor lamb, she'd cooed, hugging me too tight. We'll sort it. Sort it. Like grief was a sock drawer. Aunt Karen, Rita's sister, the successful one with the Subaru dealership and therapy couch, had flown up from Portland, all khakis and compassion. She footed the dorm bill till the trust cleared, but her eyes lingered.
Probing.
You knew, didn't you?
About the
instability. Instability. Code for the vodka bottles I'd hidden. The bruises I'd chalked up to clumsy mom. I suspected. I admitted over takeout pho in her hotel. Rain sheeted the space needle view. Tourists blurring past. But love blinds you. She nodded. Chopsticks pausing. It does. Your dad. He saw it coming. Called me weeks before. Said Linda was spiraling. Rick pulling strings. Wanted you out. Summer visit maybe. Then nothing. Her voice cracked. Rare vulnerability. I should have pushed. Guilt club. Population. Everyone but mom. I squeezed her hand. You couldn't know. But thanks for now. Backup Plan 6. Family 2.0. Karen became the anchor I hadn't known I needed. Weekends at her place with her wife. Elena BBQs. Bad rom-coms. No knives in sight. Campus life was a whirlwind.
Though.
Tyler crashed orientation weekend. Wide-eyed at the scale. This place is huge. Where's the skate park? We toured Red Square. Him grinding rails while I snapped pics for Insta. New chapter. Who dis? Likes poured in. From old classmates, so sorry about your mom. Strong queen.
Strength.
I'd faked it till it stuck. But nights alone. The dreams came. Not death, worse. Alternate lives, mom succeeding. Me trapped as diner waitress. Pregnant at 20 by some townie. Her whispering see? College ruins girls. I'd wake gasping. Sheets twisted. The dorm's thin walls muffling sobs from the girl next door. Homesick freshman.
Probably.
Solidarity in silence. My pod partner. Mia, dreads. Nose ring. Gender studies major. Caught me once. Mid-panic at 3 a.m. study sesh. Yo. June. You good? Look like you saw the Reaper. Close enough. I shrugged, shoving notes aside. Family ghosts. You? She lit a clove cigarette out the window. Seattle's fog swallowing the smoke. Abusive ex. Stalked me to freshman year. Dropped charges cause he seemed sorry. Now I major in dismantling that shit. We bonded over manifestos, bell hooks. Audre Lorde, her lending me Sister Outsider with dog-eared pages on betrayal. Blood don't mean loyalty, she'd say.
Fierce.
Choose your kin. Chosen kin. Tyler fit. Easy as breathing. He enrolled at community college nearby. Graphic design, track. Crashing my dorm with pizza boxes and sketches of our Avenger logo, a rose with thorns dripping ink. We hooked up one rainy Tuesday.
Tentative.
Then urgent, bodies crashing like waves on Alki Beach. No labels. Just us against the what-ifs. You're my backup, he murmured after. Fingers tracing my scarless throat. I laughed, but it stuck. The real tension brewed back home. Well, what was left? Media frenzy peaked. Dateline special. Burying secrets, a daughter's discovery. They wanted my interview. I declined. But clips leaked, grainy court footage. My testimony soundbites. She said it was for love. Comments exploded. Girl's a hero. Versus. Stockholm much? Mom was abused too. Controversial. Yeah. Reddit threads dissected it. r/true crime crown me sleuth queen. r/relationships called me cold. Would you turn in your mom?
Would I?
Again? The question gnawed during ethics seminar.
Prof.
Ramirez pacing with his coffee-stained tie. Moral ambiguity. That's the American way. Justice versus
mercy.
Who decides? Hands shot up. I stayed silent. Pen carving crescents into my palm. Mercy visited in envelopes. Postmarked Purdy. Mom's letters evolved. Rage. You destroyed us. To remorse, I was broken.
June.
Forgive. To manipulation. Rick's testifying against me. Save Mama? I filed them in a shoebox. Unread after the third. But one slipped through. A drawing. Crayon scribble of a house with 2 stick figures.
Us. Before.
My hand shook. I nearly burned it all. Instead, I drove upstate, Karen's loaner Prius humming I-5. Purdy women's, razor wire glinting under evergreens. Visitation room, plexiglass divide, phones greasy. She shuffled in, orange jumpsuit swallowing her frame. Hair gray-streaked, no makeup mask. June. Her voice crackled through the speaker. Eyes devouring me. You came. Once. I sat. Palms flat on the counter. No hugs. No tears. Closure. She leaned in, desperate. I miss you. Every day. The cell's cold. Reminds me of that winter after your dad. We bundled in the kitchen. Hot cocoa. Your laughs. Nostalgia weaponized. Stop. Sharp. That was before. Now, you're a killer.
Dad's.
Almost mine. Her flinch was real. Accident.
Panic.
Rick pushed me, said bury it quick. No fuss. Then the insurance. It snowballed. Tears welled. She swiped them. But you were my light. The scholarship? I saw you slipping away. Like him. Feared you'd hate me when the truth came. Hate. I echoed. Tasting it. I did.
Do.
But pity too. You could have chosen different. Could have. Echo. Silence stretched.
Clock ticking.
What now? For you. Thriving. Lie half true. Pods launching unearthed. Family lies. First EP, The Roses. Her face crumpled. I pressed on. Twist. Dad had a will. Cabin in my name. Gonna renovate. Right there. Pride flickered. Then envy. My girl. Escaping.
Proud. But.
Visit again? Holidays.
No.
Final. I stood. Backup plan solo. Love you did.
Bye.
Linda. Walking out. Her sobs followed. But the door clicked shut.
Free.
Back on campus. Momentum built. Pod hit 5K downloads. Guests like cold case detectives. Victims advocates. Mia co-hosted. Her fire balancing my steel. Tyler designed the merch. Thorn Rose tees. Dig Deeper mugs. Sales funded the scholarship fund. Now at 10K, Harper Escape grants. For girls from unstable homes. Ironic legacy. But controversy stalked. Rick's trial overlapped, embezzlement. Accessory. He flipped, claiming mom orchestrated it all. She wielded the tire iron. Laughing. Tabloids ran Black Widow mom frames lover. Protests swelled. Freelinda outside my dorm. Signs waving mothers deserve mercy. A brick through the pod studio window. Note. Snitch daughter burns. Security upped. Tyler crashed nightly. Baseball bat by the bed. This is some Lifetime movie shit, he joked. But his eyes were scared. Mine too. Revenge's cost. Isolation in a crowd. Karen called mid-chaos. Found something in your dad's files. A letter to you. Mailed posthumous. Sorta. Heart stuttered. Read it. June, if this finds you. Know I fought for us. The affair broke me.
But you?
You're unbreakable. Chase that scholarship. Build empires. Forgive her if you can. Hate chains us all.
Dad.
Unbreakable. I framed it by my desk, next to Tyler's sketch. Forgiveness? Not yet. But the chain loosened. A link. Winter break loomed. Snow dusting the Cascades. I booked the cabin, tiny A-frame. View of snowy peaks. Solo retreat. Laptop. Journals. No ghosts. Or so I thought. The drive to the cabin was a white knuckler, chains rattling on the Prius tires. Wipers battling flurries thick as secrets. 90 twisted through Snoqualmie Pass. Evergreens bowing under the weight. Radio fuzzing NPR true crime recaps, that Harper case. New appeals filing. I snapped it off. Cranked Tyler's playlist, Nirvana grunge to drown the echo. Smells like Teen Spirit thrashed as the mile markers blurred. A 2-hour purge from Seattle's neon to this off-grid nowhere. Dad's cabin squatted on 5 acres. A 70s build with shake shingles and a stone chimney. Key under the mat per the deed. Inside, musty quilts. Fieldstone hearth. A kitchenette stocked with canned beans from his last visit. No Wi-Fi. Spotty cell, blissful blackout. I built a fire crackling with pine. Flames dancing shadows on naughty walls. Unpacked. Laptop for pod scripts. The bell jar reread. A bottle of Cab Sauv from Karen to new roots. First night. Snow muffled the world. I journaled by lantern light. Words spilling like confession. Death was quick, throat fire. Then void. Rebirth? Disorienting as hell. Woke gasping in my old bed. Essay cursor blinking. Knew instantly, redo.
Smarter.
Pages filled. Timelines refined. Regrets listed. Should have trusted Tyler sooner. Forgiven Dad's flaws.
But Mom?
Her love was poison ivy, beautiful till it itched. Sleep came fitful. Dreams weaving real and reborn. Her knife glinting. Then morphing to a scholarship letter. Gold embossed. Woke to dawn pink on the ridge. Coffee perking on the camp stove. Hiked the loop trail, boots crunching virgin snow. Breath fogging like ghosts exhaled. At the overlook, Olympics jagged distant. I scattered Dad's ashes. Wait.
No.
Karen had held a quiet memorial post-exhumation. Urn portion for us. I poured a handful into the wind. Missed you. Wish we'd run together. Back inside. The pod loomed. Episode 3. The backup plan. Revenge or redemption? Script open. Mic test whispering hooks. Ever wonder if you'd kill for family? Or die for freedom? Welcome to Unearthed. But doubt Claude. Was this catharsis or circus? Listeners messaged, your voice saved me. Left my abuser after EP1. Others, monetizing trauma?
Classy.
Balance precarious as the cabin's sagging porch. Cell bars flickered mid-afternoon. Tyler, cabin pics? Miss your face. Sent a selfie. Firelit and fierce. Plotting world domination. You? His reply. Vid of him skating the quad. Dominate later. Love the scar-free glow.
Love.
We hadn't said it sober, but it hung there. Unspoken upgrade. Then Mia. Drama alert. Freelinda trending. Some podcaster claims you planted evidence. Trolls incoming.
Shit.
I googled on the laptop, signal weak. But enough, fringe blog. Justice for jailed moms, alleging frame job. Daughter's app draft suspiciously time-stamped pre-murder attempt. Paranoia bait. But it stuck, comments venomous. June Harper, hero or hustler. Rage simmered. But I channeled. New EP outline. Twists in the truth. Call Rick's publicist? No, too messy. Instead, email to my prof. Ethics paper on media trials? Using my case. He bit. Bold. A plus potential. Controversial claims welcome. Dusk fell early. Wood smoke curling from the chimney. I uncorked the cab, sipped slow, watching embers. That's when the knock came, 3 raps, muffled by gloves. Heart jackhammered. Who the hell? Grabbed the poker from the stand, edged to the door. Peered through frost-etched glass, a figure in parka, face obscured. June?
It's
Elena. Karen sent me, check-in, groceries. Aunt's wife. Voice warm through the wood. I unchained, relief flooding. She bustled in, totes bulging, ciabatta.
Brie.
A 6-pack of IPA. Blizzard warning. Your aunt frets, you're too isolated. Elena, yoga instructor vibe. Silver-streaked bob. Always with the essential oils. She unpacked. Efficient. While I stoked the fire. Thanks. Signals crap. Felt cut off. Good. She grinned. Popping a beer. Cut off's the point. But Karen dug up more. Dad's journals.
Ska någonting för you.
Handed a thumb drive. Matte black. Heavy red. He loved you fierce. We ate by firelight, cheese melting on crusty bread. Stories swapping. Elena's, fleeing a cult in 90s Oregon. Rebuilding with Karen. Betrayal bonds us. Oddly. Makes the good sharper. Her eyes softened. Heard the pod.
Raw.
Proud.
Proud.
Echoed Dad's letter. I plugged the drive. Files blooming, dated entries. His architect hand. June's art show, drawings of cities she'll conquer. Linda's moods darkening, Rick's calls too frequent. Then, weeks before, confronted her. Screaming match. Hid the tire iron after. Insurance? God. What have I done? No.
Wait, she grabbed it.
Smudged ink. Frantic. Packing a bag. Trust to June. Love her enough to let go. Tears hit. Silent. Elena squeezed my shoulder. He fought. You honor it. Night deepened. She crashed on the futon. Snores soft. I read till eyes burned. His dreams for me. Sketches of impossible homes. Sleep claimed me on the rug. Fire dying to coals. Morning brought blue skies.
Snow glazed.
Elena shoveled the drive while I recorded, voice steady, weaving journals into script. Dad's words, not victim, but visionary. Twist. He suspected her long before. Upload queued for post-blizzard. But the storm wasn't done. Mid-hike. Cell pinged. Voicemail from unknown. Raspy. Distorted. June Harper? This is Carla Voss. Innocence Project. Your mother's appealing new evidence. Claims you coerced the confession.
Can we talk?
Coerced? Bullshit. But seeds of doubt. Had my recorder been entrapment? The rolling pin threat? I called back. Voss smooth. Not accusing. Just. Timelines overlap. Your backup email predates the attack attempt. Planted.
No.
Defensive. Self-preservation. She lunged first. Understand. But optics, daughter profits from pod.
Fund.
Jury sees motive.
Pause.
Meet. Coffee in Seattle. Backup plan 7. Verify. Tomorrow. Starbucks on Pine. Elena drove back. Road slick. Legal vultures, she spat. Karen's lawyer says it's Hail Mary. Rick's deal crumbled. He's pointing fingers. Home dorm. Now felt alien after the cabin's hush. Tyler waited. Pizza steaming. Heard the buzz. We got this. We devoured slices. His knee against mine. Plotting counters, affidavits, timestamps. Love solidified in the mundane, his hand steadying my shake. Voss met next day. Sharp suit. Latte untouched. Files show your mom consulted us pre-arrest. Claimed abuse, your dad's. Then Rick's. Says you knew. Covered for him. Lies layered. Dad? Abuser? Never laid a hand. Alleged. She slid folders. Bruises documented. ER visits.
Cheating for you.
My stomach twisted. Flashed. Childhood mornings. Mom in turtlenecks. Slipped on ice. Dad's apologies. Flowers. Cover? Or truth? Check the dates. Voss tapped. Post-affair. She says he hit back, jealous rage. Doubt cracked open. A fissure. Had death blinded me to his flaws? I left dazed. Folders underarm. Tyler at the quad. What now?
Dig.
Backup eternal. Archives dive. Yar logs. Neighbor statements. Truth emerged jagged. Dad had shoved her once. Documented scuffle. But blows? Staged. Per a nurse's note. Patient inconsistent. Possible self-inflicted for custody leverage. Relief. But scarred. Heroes fall. Mine had cracks. Mom's appeal? Denied weeks later. Voss emailing regrets. But the pod episode, Family Flaws, The Gray, exploded. 50K downloads. Thank you for the nuance. Messages read. Not black-white. Helps my mess. Spring thawed. Cherry blossoms dusting campus paths. Tyler and I labeled official. Hand-holding public. Karen hosted Easter. Elena's lamb roasting.
Toast to Dad.
Absences felt but filled. Yet tension simmered. Mom's pod from prison leaked, my side. Victim 2. Listeners split. Fund donations dipped. Then surged. Complicated queens unite. Controversial? Hell yes. But real. Graduation loomed.
Cap and gown.
My speech? Valedictorian nod. Second chances aren't given, they're seized. Backup plans? Your superpower. Applause thundered. Tyler hooped from seats.
Post-ceremony.
Envelope waited. Purdy postmark. June grad congrats. Saw your pod. Proud. Even in orange. Maybe forgiveness. One day.
Love. Mom.
I folded it. Unburned. Maybe. The chain? Looser still. Summer scorched Seattle. Uncharacteristic heat wave. Puget Sound a steamy haze. Ferries cutting wakes like escape routes. I interned at the Pod Network downtown. Glass towers humming with mics and millennials. Scripting seasons on unseen betrayals. Tyler bartended at a Belltown dive. Slinging IPAs to tech bros. Saving for his graphic gig in fall. We sublet a one-bed in Fremont, Troll Bridge views. Thrift couch sagging under us. Domestic bliss. Peppered with fights, his jealousy overlaid edits. My walls from old wounds.
I'm not her, he'd snap.
I know, I'd soothe.
Growth.
Messy as hell. The fund hit 25K. Harperscapes granting 5 girls. 1 to community college. Another therapy sessions. Checks mailed anonymous. But recipients emailed thanks. Your story? Mine. But I walk away now.
Payoff.
Tangible. Karen audited it quarterly. Her CPA eye sharp. Clean. Dadded beam. But Mom's shadow lengthened. Parole hearing loomed, early release. Good behavior. Letters ramped. Counseling's eye-opening. See my patterns now. Want to make amends. Amends. Words soured on my tongue. Tyler found one crumpled in trash. Burn this shit.
I did.
But embers lingered. Pod Season 2 kicked. Guest spots with Voss. Dissecting appeals. Gray areas humanize, she said on air. Listeners agreed. Ratings soared. Merch sold out. Controversy peaked at a live event, Paramount Theater. Packed house. Q&A turned hostile. Heckler in row 5. You profited off her pain. Blood money. Mike's caught it. I paused. Spotlight hot. Valid. Voice even. Grief's not gratis. But silence? That kills slower. I chose noise for her victims. Mine. Applause drowned him. Tyler high-fived backstage. But doubt whispered, profiteer? Twist hit mid-July, anonymous package. Dorm addressed. Inside, flash drive. Note scrawled, full truth. From inside. Mom's handwriting? No, Rick's. Shaky from county lockup. His appeal failed, accessory bumped to 15. Files loaded. Audio clips. Her voice tinny through vents. That June's digging too deep. Rick. We end at accident. Like before. Timestamp. Week pre my murder. Chills spidered. She'd planned premeditated me. Next loose end. Drive to Tyler's. Listen. His face hardened.
Bitch.
We forwarded to DA, new charges filed. Parole denied. Her letters ceased. Relief crashed. Then void. No villain to fight. Just echoes. Karen suggested therapy group for kids of incarcerated. Circle of folding chairs. Coffee urn steaming. Story spilling. Dad did time for fraud. I stole to cope. I shared sparse. Rebirth veiled as near-death clarity. Nodding heads, we get the reset urge. Fall semester. Master's track. Ethics deep dive.
Prof.
Ramirez mentored my thesis. Revenge narratives in American Lit, from Poe to podcasts. Your life. Annotated. Tyler's firm hired him, logos for indie games. Our couch now canvas cluttered. Nights tangled. Futures murmured. Kids?
Someday.
With your fire. My chill. Thanksgiving at Karen's, Elena's turducken. Wine flowing. Toasts evolved to flawed loves. Post-feast. Karen pulled me aside. Purdy called. Your mom's. Declining. A cancer scare. Early stage. Asking for you.
Cancer.
The great equalizer. I nodded.
Numb.
Think on it. Decided over eggnog. Yes. Christmas Eve visit, holiday lax. Lines short. She looked frail. Chemo balled under scarf. But eyes sparked.
June.
You came. Season.
Sat.
Plexiglass cold.
Heard.
Sorry. She shrugged. For Port Stark. Karma. Fought so hard to keep you, lost anyway.
Pause. Wet.
The pod. Listened in group. You're right, patterns. Abuse cycle. Mine from Gramps. Didn't break it. Empathy, flickered. Unwanted.
Could now.
Testify, full truth. Help others. Her laugh. Wheezy. Redemption arc? Too late. Then soft. Forgive me? Not for parole, for peace. Controversial call. Forgiveness. Absolution or erasure.
I leaned in. Trying.
For Dad. Tyler.
Me.
But trust? Earn slow. She nodded. Tears tracking.
Fair.
Love you. Always.
Love.
Complicated. Stood. Fight it. Linda. Backup plans save lives. Out in the lot. Snow flurrying. Tyler waited, hot cocoa steaming.
How? Healed.
A bit. Kissed him. Salt sweet. Us too. New Year dawned crisp. Pod Emmy nod. True crime breakout. Fund at 50K. Scholarships doubling. Cabin Reno started. Solar panels. Writing loft. Dad's dream. Mine now. Twist finale. Spring dig at the old house. Developers permit. Crew unearth more. Mom's diary. Buried with him. Entries raw. Hate what I've become. June deserves better. College. Freedom. If I could redo. Suicidal ideation. Dated pre-kill. Context shifted. Not pure malice. But despair's blade. I kept it private. Pod EP closing. Backups aren't just plans, they're compassion.
2.
For foes. Even. Ratings peaked. Messages flooded. You humanized my monster.
Thank you.
Senior year blurred cap. Gown again. Tyler's ring glinting, not proposal. Promise. Speech ruins?
Nah.
College builds queens. And backups? They rebuild worlds.
Post-ceremony.
Karen hugged fierce. Your dad's here in you.
Elena nodded.
Tyler. Our empire starts now. Mom stabilized. Letters resuming grateful.
Sparse.
I replied once. Keep fighting. Proud of your fight. Chains snapped. Finally. Life post-tragedy? Not fairy tale. Scars itch. Doubts whisper. But second chances? They're the American dream. Jagged and just. I seized mine, scholarship in hand. Betrayals buried. Backups unbreakable. Mom deleted one path. I paved 5. And damn.
They shine.